These are the most exciting books that are coming out in the next 3 months. Hello friends, my name is Michaela. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things books. Today we are going to be talking about the books that I am most excited for that are coming out in the next 3 months. So we are going to be speaking about new release books that are coming out in June, July and August 2025. And I say it all the time, but like, how am I supposed to want to read the books that are currently on my bookshelf when this is the quality of books that are coming out? I don't know. If this is the first time you're coming across one of my videos, hello, hi. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thank you to everyone, as always, for watching, and let's get into it. Let me just slide on over here a little bit, and I'm going to put the cover of the books on the screen and also the date that they're coming out. And the first one we're going to start with is maybe the most exciting. Taylor Jenkins Reid Atmosphere. I am a Taylor Jenkins Reid stan. I absolutely adore her books. I think she is just one of the most amazing storytellers currently out there, in my opinion. Her next book is coming out on the 3rd of June. I have got it pre-ordered. I've also got the special edition pre-ordered. I'll put that on the screen because, oh my God, stunning. I got it from Waterstones. But all I know about this book is that it is set in 1980s amongst a NASA space program. And it's about lesbians. I didn't know that when it first got announced. Somebody told me and I was like, shut the front door. No, it's not. Sapphic, give me all day long. So we haven't got very long until it comes out, and I'm telling you right now, the second it drops on my doorstep, I am going to be reading it. I've never read a book by Julia Clark before, but this one sounds so good. I couldn't not add it to this list. It's called The Ghostwriter and it's coming out on the 5th of June. Something I am constantly saying that I love in my books is the book within a book trope. And this has exactly that, because we're following our main character, Olivia, whose dad is a famous horror writer. However, like, she's always distanced herself from him. Like, she's never like wanted to publicly be like, that's me dad. But her dad's not only famous for being a horror writer, he's also infamous because he was accused of killing his siblings when he was younger. And now Olivia has agreed to ghostwrite her dad's memoir for his last book, where he's going to tell her exactly what happened. And like, I joke about it all the time, but juicy gossip, you know? Like, I feel like that I'm going to be getting the juicy gossip. I'm obsessed. Yeah, I have actually got a NetGalley arc of this. So I think I'm going to do like a vlog of like reading my NetGalley bookshelf, because I've got loads on there that I need to get through. C.L. Taylor's It's Always the Husband. I absolutely love the book title of this because it's always the husband, isn't it? It's always the men. It's always the men. This is also coming out on the 5th of June, and it follows a woman that has just moved to a new town with her daughter, where she falls in love with the local widow. But this local widow was accused of offing his wife. And the blurb actually says, one dead wife is tragic, but two starts to look like murder. Like, so camp. It's given. I'm obsessed. If you've not read a book by C.L. Taylor before, like, she writes such good domestic thrillers. I recently read Every Move You Make last year and I adored that book. That book was so good. Go read it. I'm like so self-conscious of like this mic being on me, and like I want to like, I miss the handheld mic, you know, but some people said it off-put them from my last video. So let me know what you prefer. Right, now listen, the next book's a kid's book, but hear me out, all right? Because the author is Janice Hallett and the book is called A Box Full of Murders, another one that is coming out on the 5th of June. Who knew kids liked reading about murders? Because I absolutely did not. Me and my friend Emma actually went to one of Janice Hallett's book signings for, I think it was The Examiner, and she mentioned that she had this book coming out. And I was like, do kids like reading about murder? And they were like, yeah, it's like a whole genre. Like, apparently kids love it. Who knew? Anyway, if you've never read a book by Janice Hallett before, she does all of her books in mixed media. So like, they're not told in your typical format. They're literally all told through mixed media. So like I said, this is a children's book, but it's going to be in her signature style of mixed media. So I've pre-ordered it. I thought, why not? And I also pre-ordered the one with really nice sprayed edges. And do you know what? I just think it's going to be like a really fun, light-hearted, easy read. I've actually not seen anybody talking about the next book, and that is Rebecca Westcott, Wish You Dead. I'd never read a book by this author before, but I actually got contacted by the publishers and asked if I'd be interested in receiving a copy, and I was like, oh my God, yes, because the premise sounds so up my street. So it is a YA book, but it's about witches who are sapphic. So it's a thriller with magical realism. Something about me is I absolutely love magical realism. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my God, yes, please send it to me. This came with the press release, and like, I'm gonna frame this. Like, this is me. This is me on a piece of paper. If you watched my worst books I've ever read, you might be shocked to hear me speaking about this one, but it is S.A. Cosby, King of Ashes. I said in that video that I didn't like the way that S.A. Cosby spoke about women, all right? But I did say I'm willing to give him another go. I've only read one book by him, and I'm always willing to give authors another go. And this is his next book that is coming out on the 10th of June. I don't know if it's going to be one that I immediately pick up because, like, although I am intrigued, the premise is a bit like a man has come home to look after his injured father, and when he gets there he finds out that his brother's in a lot of trouble, so like he needs to help him out. And like somebody actually said in my worst books video, like his books are full of testosterone, and like, yeah, that's the vibe I get. That is the vibe I get. Stop the train, because the next one I think is the one I am most excited for, and that is V.E. Schwab's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. This is also coming out on the 10th of June, and all I know about this book is toxic lesbian vampires. That's all I need to know. That is all I needed to know to pre-order this book. Have I ever read a book by V.E. Schwab? No, I have not. But yeah, I'm easily sold. My friend Carly actually read this, and she didn't stop banging on about it. I had such bad FOMO that she got an arc of it, and she couldn't stop telling me how incredible it was. So yeah, I've got high hopes. Mr. Riley Sager, the man that I have a love-hate relationship with, I just feel like I have like no in-between with his books. I either absolutely like love them, think they're the best things I've ever read, or I think they're the worst things I've ever read. So I'm excited to read With a Vengeance. It's coming out on the 12th of June. I did DNF his last book though. I think it was called Middle of the Night. I DNF'd that one. Didn't like this one at all. But this one's set in the 1950s on a train, as a woman has like lured some people onto this train, and she's out for blood. She's out for revenge against them, but like what for? And like, I think the thing that intrigues me most of this is like the 1950 setting and a train is given Agatha Christie, isn't it? So yeah, can't wait. And then while we're on the theme of trains, the next one is Terry Drury's Actually I'm a Murderer. This is also set on a train, but I think this one's going to be a bit less serious, because I think it's following a group of strangers who are all on a train, where one of them puts their hand up and says, I'm a murderer. This one is also a bit historical because it's set in the 70s, but I think this is going to be like more satirical, like it's going to be like more playing into the humour. A less serious version of Riley Sager maybe. And interestingly, they're coming out on the same day. All right, the next one's not a thriller. It's not a thriller. It is a romance, and I am the biggest fan of Ashley Poston. I absolutely love her romance books. There's not many straight romance books that I will read, but Ashley Poston's, I'll read anything she writes. The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip are two of my favourite books, and her next book is called Sounds Like Love. And something, I think I like her books because she always puts like magical realism into her books, and like I said before when I was speaking about the Sapphic Witchy one, I do like a touch of magical realism in them. Like, they're not fantasy, but they're not like, they're still, I don't know. I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, to be honest. So I don't actually know what the magical side of this one is going to be, but the premise says that it follows a songwriter and a musician whose like connection defies logic. But consider me intrigued. Nikki Erlich, who is the author of The Measure, which I've actually just read. I read it last week and I thought it was all right. I think I was expecting a bit more from it without giving you a full review on that. That's not why we're here, Michaela. So The Poppy Fields is set in a mysterious healing facility. And basically people go to this facility to deal with their grief and trauma. And the way that they deal with it is they get put to sleep. Not like put to sleep as in like dead and gone. Like put to sleep, and then when they wake up, everything's all right. They've dealt with it all. So to me, that's given like a bit of The Measure, because The Measure had a bit of magical realism, and is this one. I'm definitely going to be giving this one a go. Fredrik Backman is a widely loved author. People absolutely adore his books. And like, I don't know if I'm on like that the wavelength of it. Like, I read Bear Town and I didn't enjoy it, but I did really enjoy Anxious People. Anyway, his next book is called My Friends. It's coming out on the 19th of June, and it essentially is going to follow a group of friends throughout their whole life. And the reason this one intrigues me so much is I'm a very character driven reader. I love following characters for like a large span of time, and I feel like this is gonna do that. And the reviews for it are glowing. Like, the pre-reviews for it, I think it's got like a 4.6 average on GoodReads. Mental. Oh, but I did watch the movie adaptation with, is it Tom Hanks, of A Man Called Uwe, but it's not called that, it's A Man Called Otto, isn't it? Me and Amy watched it on New Year's Eve, and I'm not joking you, we went into 2025 with me sobbing my eyes out uncontrollably at that film. Like, what a way to welcome the new year in. So if you're not from the UK, you might not know who Rob Rinder is. Like, so Rob Rinder is like one of these like TV judges, you know, like Judge Judy. He's like our version of it. Is his TV show called like Judge Rinder or something like that? Anyway, he's now an author. So he has released, I want to say like 1 or 2 books before, but this one is called The Protest, and he is actually a judge in real life. So I feel like his books are like that legal drama kind of thing. But he's a really funny guy. So I'm intrigued to see if that humor would like go into like his novels. If you are in the US though, like, let me know if you do know who he is. Imagine if Judge Judy wrote a book. Karen Slaughter's coming out with a new series, and I mean, it's about bloody time, really, isn't it? It's about bloody time. This is coming out on the 19th of June. It's called We Are All Guilty Here, and we are actually going to be reading this for mine and my friends in-person book club. Like, because I just think it's going to be so nice that we're finally getting a new series, and then hopefully every time a new one comes out, we can then read it for book club. So much fun. As always with Karen Slaughter, you know it's going to be dark, it's going to be set in a small town, and it's going to shock you. That, you know, that's what you're going to get. Amy McCulloch's Runner 13 is following a woman that is running an ultra marathon. Can't relate. Can't say I've ever wanted to run an ultra marathon in my, not even a marathon. No, not for me. Although, fun fact, my partner Amy, she is a massive runner. She loves running. Literally, like, we couldn't be more different when it comes to that. But anyway, this is following a woman that is running an ultra marathon through the Sahara Desert. As she's running this ultra marathon, she starts to realise she might be in a bit of danger and somebody might be after her. But what do you do when you're running through the Sahara Desert? You just got to run a bit faster, haven't you? That is one way to get me running if someone was chasing me. The 19th of June is popping off for new releases. What the hell? The next book is Sophie Hannah's No One Would Do What the Lamberts Have Done. It's also coming out on the 19th of June. This is going on my June TBR because consider me intrigued. I love Sophie Hannah as an author. What did you see? Melody was a 5-star book for me, like, from her. I absolutely loved it. Nobody speaks about that book enough. I thought it was fantastic. But this follows a family that get involved in something that nobody believes, like, nobody can actually believe what they've got involved in. I don't know what they've got involved in. I'm not being secretive. I actually have no idea. But consider me intrigued. Shonora Williams' Whispers of the Lake. I really like the title of this book. Like, yeah, that's piqued my interest straight away. Like, I feel like a title's got the power to do that, hasn't it? I feel like the title's got like the power to like make you intrigued, and I am definitely intrigued by this. This one is following an investigative, why can't I speak? Investigative. It's following a reporter whose best friend's gone missing and she's got to try and find her. Lisa Jewell's next book is called Don't Let Him In. It's coming out on the 3rd of July, and this is one I have actually already read. I will leave the vlog up above if you want to go and check the vlog where I read it. And this one is, I don't know if I think you need to rush out and like order it. I think I went into this with like such high expectations, especially after her last thriller, None of This Is True. Like, that was just one of the most incredible thriller books I've ever read. This just felt a bit basic to me, which is so mean. So mean. I'm so sorry, Lisa. It follows a man that is essentially just conning loads of women. He's a bit like the Tinder swindler, and he's just taking advantage of women. He's got like multiple wives all over the place. And yeah, just following like the aftermath of that, I thought it was all right. I gave it 3.5 stars. But like I said, if you want like my full review, go watch the vlog. Ruth Ware's The Woman in Suite 11 is also coming out on the 3rd of July, and I feel like this might be a sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10. I feel like it might be. Have I read The Woman in Cabin 10? No, I have not. No, I have not. But I am excited because it's being adapted, isn't it, into a film, I think. And I think Keira Knightley is the main character. I mean, that's all right. That's good going, that, innit? I got to interview Ruth Ware last year and she was so lovely. She was literally so nice. Sorry, I'll stop showing off now. So this is another one that is set on a train. What's going on? I feel like everyone's writing books set on a train. I mean, I'm not complaining. I like it. But this follows a woman that is on a train from London to Venice, I want to say. She wakes up in the middle of the night as the train is pounding ahead. Somebody's screaming and then somebody's obviously dead. So I feel like a train is quite good because it's given locked room, isn't it? I mean, the train could stop, to be fair. Steph McGovern, this is a TV presenter from the UK and this is her first book and apparently it's a cosy mystery. So it's called Deadline and it's following a journalist who is trying to solve a murder while juggling her career and also like the gossip from the local town. I don't know, that's not really giving cozy mystery to me, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. It's definitely one that I want to read. Peter Swanson's next book is called Kill Your Darlings, and this book follows an author. Oh, I bloody love it. Love it so much. But this follows an author whose crimes from his books start happening to him in real life. That premise is given Dorothy Coombs' My Other Husband, and I was so excited to read that book and it was an absolute flop. So hopefully Peter Swanson's going to fill that hole for no. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like It's going to fill the void that Dorothy Coomson left for me. That's what it's going to do. I'm going to shut up now. One Dark Night by Hannah Raquel. I read The Search Party by this author a few months ago and I enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. But her next book is called One Dark Night. And this one, we're set in the English countryside and we're following a group of friends where one of them's been off. Sometimes I hear these plots and I'm thinking, oh God, it just sounds a bit basic. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've read 200 books with that kind of plot. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see like what's going to be different about it. Not to be mean, but I thought The Search Party was like, it was a good thriller, but just a basic plot, you know? I feel like with the amount of like quality of books that are coming out now, like, we need ones that, like, I don't know, a bit different. Tiffany Dees Jackson, Blood in the Water, is her next release. And I always feel like her books have something to say. Like, I really want to read. What's the one I really want to read? I've read Grown. That was powerful. That was a powerful, powerful book. She's got a book out that is like Stephen King's Carrie's retelling, but, like, not problematic. And, like, her books have a lot to say on like racism and things, so I'm expecting this one to be no different. Holly Jackson is coming out with her first adult thriller. Oh my God, so excited. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is one of my favourite books. And I feel like Holly Jackson did something different. When that first came out, like there was no other books that were out that were quite like it. Like with the whole mixed media thing. Oh yeah, love it. Anyway, this is her first forte into the adult genre. And in this one, we're following a girl called Jet who experiences a like traumatic accident and she's told that she's got a week to live. Actually, it's not an accident. Something happens to her. She's attacked on Halloween. Oh, of course she is. So now she's told she's got a week left to live because she's got this brain aneurysm. So in her final week, she is going to find the person that did it and make sure that they get justice. She gets justice. She Didn't See It Coming by Shari Lapina is coming out on the 17th of July. If you haven't watched The Worst Books I've Ever Read, go and watch that video because I talk in there about my feelings about this author. So I'm not sure if I am going to read this. I am going to wait and see like what the reviews come out of it. So this is following a woman who sees a crime that she shouldn't have. And instead of doing what a normal person would do and telling the police, she thinks, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go and solve it myself. I just don't feel like I've enjoyed a book from this author in like a long, long time. So that's why I'm a bit like, I don't know. A Neighbour's Guide to Murder by Louise Candlish. I think this is a great book title. Like, yeah, I think this is such a strong book title. It did have a different one. When I originally did this list, like I always keep this list updated whenever I see new releases. It wasn't called this. And then when I was like double checking the list before I filmed this video, it's changed names. But I think I prefer this name. I can't remember now what the other one was called, but it wasn't very good. This follows a woman who has just retired and she's moved into this like elite neighborhood. It's like the top neighborhood for like retired people. When one of her neighbors goes missing. So she decides that she's going to solve it. Because what else do you do when you're retired? She's probably a bit bored. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sanju Mandana. Now, I don't know if this is a sequel to the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I'm seeing conflicting information. I'm not actually sure. I mean, I hope it is, because I loved that book. Cozy, witchy vibes. Obsessed. So this follows a witch who inherits a magical inn. Like a spa retreat for werewolves, if you will. And I do like a cozy fantasy. I like a cozy fantasy to break it up. And like I said, I did really love the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. So whether it's a sequel or a standalone, I'm definitely going to be picking it up. Tasha Carell's Matchmaking for Psychopaths follows a woman who has set up a dating app for psychopaths. I mean, I know a few people who could probably sign up to that, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that's a great idea. Get them all off the regular dating sites, do you know what I mean? And whack them all on there. Fantastic idea. I feel like this is going to be like a bit humorous, a bit dark, and yeah, we'll have you laughing. Mega Miranda's next release is called You Belong Here, and it's coming out on the 29th of July. This follows a woman that has returned home to a small town. I just love a small town setting. Do you know when like everybody's up in everybody's business? I love it. But this woman's sister sadly died under mysterious circumstances, so our main character is going to be digging into those secrets to find out what really happened to her sister. Juicy gossip. I am so excited for Mark Edwards' The Wasp Trap. Like, I can't explain to you how excited I am for this book. I have been reading Mark Edwards probably for like over 10 years at this point. He is one of my favourite thriller authors, and he doesn't get the love he deserves. All of his books previously have been just published on Amazon, like they're not self-published, but it's through like Amazon's publishing house, and this is his first like mainstream traditionally published book, so I'm so excited. So the book starts out in 1999, where we're following a group of friends who are all at university together, and they set up this dating app that ended in tragedy. We then fast forward 25 years, and all of the friends are going to get back together at this big house for a big dinner party. But obviously something's going to go wrong. If you've not read Mark Edwards, let this be your sign to go check out some of his books. All of his books are on Kindle Unlimited, but this new one isn't going to be. But all of his previous ones are. Some of my favourites are Here to Stay, The Magpies, The Lucky Ones, The Psychopath Next Door, so many. Steve Kavanagh's got a new book in the Eddie Flynn series. I want to say this is like book number 9, and it's called Two Kinds of a Stranger. All of Steve Kavanagh's Eddie Flynn books can be read as standalones. I have read a couple, but I have read them like completely out of order. So I am going back to the beginning and reading the ones that like I've missed, because all the ones I've read I've absolutely loved. Also, fun fact, Steve Kavanagh used to be a barrister, so like I feel like all of his like legal books are like not very reminiscent of like true stuff, but like he knows his shit. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we're in August. We're in the August books. Something about books set in psychiatric hospitals. I don't know what it is. It's just so creepy, isn't it? Literally so creepy. Sarah Peckinen's The Locked Door is set in a psychiatric hospital. It's called The Locked Ward, Michaela, not The Locked Door. In this, we're following a doctor who starts to think that one of their patients isn't actually mentally ill. They think someone is like out to get them. Somebody's like making their life hell and making them like that. And I mean, yeah, gimme anything to do with the psychiatric ward. Love it. The Dead Husband's Cookbook by Danielle Valentine. Again, the titles are so good. So this is being described as like a dark but funny thriller. And I do like a bit of humour in my thriller books, I'm not gonna lie. So it follows a woman whose ex-husband has died, and she has inherited his notebook where he writes all of his recipes. But those recipes could lead to being able to solve his murder. So yeah, it's described as a part cozy mystery and part satire. Consider me intrigued. Clemens McCallan's Our Last Resort is coming out on the 7th of August. This is the author of The Quiet Tenant. I read this book last year and wow, what a book. I absolutely loved it. This is about two women that meet in a remote wellness resort, but one of them is hiding a very dark secret. After The Quiet Tenant, I have such high hopes for this book, and I hope I'm not going to be disappointed. It's bad in it sometimes, like when you go into books like with big expectations, and like, yeah, I shouldn't do it. I need to manage my expectations. Kate Alice Marshall's next book is called We Won't All Survive, And now this is a YA thriller. I don't know if her other books are YA. I've never read a book from her before, but I don't think they're YA, so maybe this is her first like forte into the YA genre. This follows a girl who was hailed as a hero in like a mass shooting, and she survived, and she's now been invited, like she's a bit infamous, she's been invited onto this reality TV show that's about survival. But when she turns up on the set, like there's nobody there, and then the gate locks and she's trapped in. She's literally trapped in. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but like I love like reality TV in my books. I feel like it's a bit overdone at the moment though. I've not read any lately that I have loved with that trope. So maybe this one will be the one. Okay, this is exciting for me, and I feel like a lot of people from the UK, but I don't know, guys, you're gonna have to tell me. In the US, I don't think Jacqueline Wilson is popular. So in the UK, Jacqueline Wilson was like the mum of books. Like children's books, where I grew up on her books. She wrote like Tracy Beaker, The Illustrated Mum, what other, oh my God, there's so many, like the Girls in Love series. I literally grew up on her books. And what she's doing, she's kind of like revisiting those children's books. So this one is called Picture Imperfect, and it's following the girl from The Illustrated Mum. And I don't know, it just feels like so much nostalgia, like a little piece of my childhood. Like I read that book when I was a child, and I think the girl in the book was the same age as me, and now we're going to be following her as an adult. And I just think, yeah, it just feels so wholesome. It feels so full circle. But I think this, yeah, I don't know in the US if you, or Canada, or anywhere overseas, if you did have her books. Samantha Down is Too Old for This is coming out on the 28th of August. And the premise of this is giving me like a bit like Vera Wong, Unsolicited Guide for Murderers. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? And because it's basically following an older woman as she gets like tangled up in like deception, and she's like, I didn't ask for this, I'm just trying to live like my quiet little life. But it does say that she's sharp, resourceful, and maybe a little dangerous. Stacey Willingham's Forget Me Not follows a woman that wakes up and she's got no memory. It's the classic amnesia plot, isn't it? She's got no memory of the last few days. She hasn't got a clue what's gone on, and her fiance is missing. I really like Stacey Willingham as an author. I think like I really like her writing, but I think it's more like, it's not poetic and it's not beautiful, but it's a bit flowery. Do you know what I mean? It's not like your like typical popcorn thriller. So yeah, I am excited for this one. And I do like a good old amnesia plot. And the last book in this mammoth list is Helen Field's Watching You. That's the title of a Lisa Jewell book. I've literally just clocked on. Anyway, I read a Helen Fields book last year. It was called Profile K, and I thought it was such an interesting like premise for a thriller book. But this one, I'm going to be real with you, it sounds a bit basic. I feel like Profile K had like a bit of like a, like not sci-fi, it wasn't sci-fi, but like a bit of like that near future. Well, this one just says is following a crime detective as like she's trying to find a killer, basically. Bit boring. But the reason I put it on this list is because I did like her last book. I did like her writing, and maybe it will have like something a bit more interesting, you know, a bit of like something about it. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the list. Oh my God, that was a lot of books, wasn't it? I would love it if you could let me know which ones you're most excited for, any I might have missed, and any you might have got pre-ordered. I would love to know. So thank you as ever for taking the time to watch this video. I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button and stuck around, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna be bloody poor. That's what I'm gonna be after I buy all these books. Poor.